Hey there, Griever gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Jim, you got new glasses? No. No, I did not. These are an old set that I forgot that I had. Could not find my actual glasses today. So I went into my old drawers and there was one. So I needed to be able to see, so I've put these on. Today we're looking at another Shen video, and again, forgive me if I've pronounced that wrong. For Spooky Week, I believe, oh god, I think we're up to song 5 now? I think it's 5 now. God, these are reflective, what the hell? I might actually just need to take these off, actually. And I brought up on, yep, I'm taking them off. Alright, I did bring these, I did bring up that I needed some spooky season sort of songs, and this one came up quite a bit, the Song of Heaven Island, that was supposed to have come from like a whodunit murder series or something, if I'm remembering correctly. Future Jim, have a look at that, double check and fact check the thing for me, will you? Never mind, Future Jim, I did the job for you. It's for a show called Who's the Murderer, and I'm just really keen to jump into this and have a listen. So, before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. If you have not subscribed, I would highly appreciate it if you did so. And if you like what we do on the channel, there's more ways you can help at the end. Alright, so without any further ado, let's have a listen to Zhou Shen singing the Song of Heaven Island. I love this already. Me too! Me too, lady! Hang on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, before we go any further, I've heard this. I've heard this song, not this version of it, but I've heard this song. Where have I heard it? Probably a TikTok video or something. I scroll through TikTok all the time and it annoys the crap out of me. I shouldn't do it. But I forgot about how his voice works, and not so much about the height. I remembered that he reaches unfathomable heights with his voice. The incredible part about it is that transitioning between head voice and chest voice is just so natural that you can hardly hear when he does it. It's the weirdest sensation to my ear because I'm trained to hear this stuff, right? It's part of what I do as a vocal coach, to really listen and go, oh, okay, so this is where they're changing, and, you know, a large part of what I'm doing in my studio is going, okay, maybe don't swap into this part of the voice here, maybe you can do it the note after, something like that, right? I can't tell. Like, it's really difficult to tell. Like, you can tell when he is in full head voice or falsetto, and you can tell when he's in chest voice, but it's that transitioning that you kind of just, it takes a second to process that it's happened, and it's just brilliant. Oh my. Like there. Okay, I need to actually have a look at this line here, because I can tell that he flipped. I don't know where. don't know. I don't know where the flip happened. Was it just at the start of the next line and I'm overthinking it? I'm so confused. And there was another flip in there. Oh, man! What? That's a full belt. Hang on a minute. Hang on. This is just defying complete logic. And I understand that seems to be the real draw to this voice here, is that none of it makes sense in anyone's head and no one can really pinpoint what it is that makes it so unique. But it's, you know, except for the incredibly unique range for a male voice. God. Because the thing that shocks me here is that we've heard him go into this part of the song. We've heard him go into this part of the voice. Sorry. Let me take a step back. My brain is so scrambled from what I'm hearing that I can't put the words right. Make the words. I can't speak. I can't English today. So we've heard him get to this part of the song before. This is a repeated part of the song. In the last part, he was in a different part of the voice entirely. This time, I'm pretty sure it is a complete belt, which means that he is using high chest voice and using so much core pressure in order for it to actually come out with the power that is behind it. I am so baffled by this, and I'll explain more on that later, but I've got to listen to this again. Okay, and then, yes, it's a belt, and then that flip, and then da-da-da-da-da, that's a flip there. Obviously, in an octave higher. Hang on, my camera's gone off. Okay, so that was the weirdest thing I've ever had with any of my recording sessions. Genuinely. And I think it must be Spooky Week in full season, right? Because what am I going to do? Right? Because my camera froze for whatever reason, and then it wouldn't export the file. I'd stopped it recording, it would not export the file. I closed my recording software, and when I did, despite the fact that the camera was off, it recorded all of my facial expressions trying to fix it up until the point that I completely reset the program again. At the end of this video, after the credit thing, I'm going to put all of the facial expressions just completely uncut. I'm going to put that all there for people to see, because that was weird. I have never had anything like that before. This is, in fact, one of the most incredible and strange and unique voices that I've ever had the pleasure of looking at. And there's still another minute and a bit to go. Because the thing is, too, where I'm following along and I'm flipping in between head voice and chest voice for myself, I am an octave lower than what he's singing. Which is crazy. being that I have a relatively high voice, but this is a whole other level of height, which we know, right? And it really comes down to just the natural makeup of that voice. It's phenomenal. And some people just have that, right? But what I'm really interested in is the fact that there's also some pretty decent lows in here too. So it's not just a case of like a restrictive, you know, he might have a couple of octaves in the height, in the higher sections that most, you know, men can't get to. But there's significance in the low end as well. I'm like, it's genuinely baffling. It is genuinely baffling. Let's continue on. Brilliant. That's brilliant. No, there's no captions, so unfortunately I have no idea what was going on with the rest of that, but it was like almost like an interview section. Oh my god! Look, I have some things to say. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen on this channel. Not just for the fact that my recording stuff completely decided to just absolutely crap the bed, but vocally this is strange. It's absurd, and I love it. Like, when it comes to the voice, the thing to remember, especially for any of the teachers out there, is that it is not a one-size-fits-all thing. Teaching is not one-size-fits-all. What works for somebody may not work for somebody else. I find that what a lot of singing teachers do, not the good ones, mind you, not necessarily the good ones, although some of them do tend to check out after a while, they kind of create like a program and they run all of their students on that. And what that means is they kind of have, all right, well, here's all of the songs that work for these, just do these and you'll be fine, you'll learn the craft. Which is not nearly even close to to the reality of learning music. Each voice needs a catered program, 100%. And that's why we teachers exist. We need to really understand that each voice is incredibly different. The thing that is so intriguing to me is that the technique he uses is no different to anyone else. The technique that he uses is still the same fundamental stuff of, you know, using that core. The breath work is incredible, and the diction is very good as well. The openness of the resonance that's coming out, it's all the same as anybody else. It is to a higher standard than most, for sure. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to downplay what he's doing, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But it is human technique with an inhuman voice. And what I mean by that is, again, this voice is incredibly situated in a spot that you would never expect any man to be able to do. In fact, it fits so perfectly into probably, like, yes, he hits full-blown soprano notes, but the more comfort, the more, like, I would say, and now, this is going to sound controversial, and I don't want it to sound controversial, but hear me out on this, is that, you know, we can hit higher notes than what our kind of voice classification may be. For instance, for the longest period of time, I was considered a baritone. I hit tenor notes, but I'm considered a baritone in a lot of cases. And that's mostly because that's where my natural talking voice kind of sits. In this particular case, I would say that the voice fits into more of a mezzo area, but can hit soprano notes. And may I add, hits them with more efficiency than a lot of sopranos I know. But having a voice that sits there for a male is just, like, how did that happen? Like, I know in the previous video there were a lot of comments of, oh, this particular thing happened with him and whatnot, and I tend to believe it because a lot of people had the same comment. Like, you know how people kind of speculate in the comments as to what may be, and then a whole bunch of people will have completely different opinions and it all looks like wrong because they're all contradictory? This was not the case here. It seemed that this was relatively universally what was believed, so it was either stated or researched by these people. Stated by Shen or researched by them, and there was some evidence for it. But it's insane. Like, I'm like, even hearing his talking voice, like if we go back to this section here. 明星大侦探里面所有的恐怖童谣都是我唱的。然后如果有人不愿意给我投票的话，我下一部恐怖童谣唱的就是你哦。Like seriously, that is much higher a natural speaking voice. So it all comes down to the physiology, and it's crazy. Because here's the thing, this might sound like a hot take, and this is what I'm going to leave you guys on, right? The height isn't necessarily what impresses me. And this is the same with all artists. It's not necessarily the height that impresses me. It is the technique that is used for the range that the person has. Some of my favorite vocalists, I wouldn't say have great ranges. For instance, I've done reaction videos to the band Poets of the Fall. And Marco, who is the lead singer of Poets of the Fall, I would not say has a better range than probably most of the people that I react to on this channel. But I prefer the way that he sings because of how he utilizes that voice and gets the emotion across. In this particular case, it's the same deal. It's hard to set aside the height because it is so unique and it is so amazing. But the thing that sets somebody apart for me is, yes, they have the range, but if their range was lower, would they still have the same proficiency? If the answer is yes, then that tends to determine for me a good vocalist. And in this case, the answer is absolutely yes. If their vocal was naturally down a couple of octaves to kind of navigate into a more regular male range, they would still be brilliant. And that is what is the most important thing for me. And that is so good. Like, the way he handles it is just so good. And it just so happens that he has this height to go along with it. It's brilliant. And honestly, thank you for bringing this one to my attention, because the song is brilliant and it suits his voice. And it is really genuinely that technique, that transitioning between head voice and chest voice, that makes me love it so much more. Because that, when it comes to vocal, tends to be the hardest part. Deciding when to change and when to stay in the kind of vocal space that you're in. Not only does he manage to transition in those spaces effortlessly, you can hardly hear when he does it. And that is so much more. That is something completely extra on top. That is just wonderful. Anyway, I do hope that people don't think that I'm just talking negatives, because I'm not. I'm absolutely not. It's all positives. It's 100% brilliant. Brilliant performance. I absolutely adore it. And I just wanted to explain all of that, to explain how my brain works when it comes to finding a good vocalist. And honestly, he's great. He baffles me. Seriously. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like a favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe to all that sort of thing. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget, stick around for the weird facial expressions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, feel free to go over to Patreon and support us for as little as $3 Australian per month. By doing so, you'll join the list of wonderful people here. Also, if you're into gaming, I have recently rebooted my gaming channel, so feel free to go over there and have a look. Link to both the Patreon and the gaming channel in the description below.